Welcome to another daily database insights. As soon as I started my SQL Server instance and then I went ahead to inspect a few things, I ran into an MSDB suspect database. Now, we talked about the different states when it comes to databases. You need to go back and look at the video regarding the database states. But for a suspect database, all it means is at least one of the primary file group is suspect or maybe damaged, and therefore the recovery during the process of starting up the database is not entirely possible. Now, we are going to go through the process of fixing this, and this is something that happens so many times. So the first step is to switch that database into emergency so that only the sysadmin members can connect to it. And it goes to say that we cannot switch this one to emergency. So what it means here therefore would be that we are definitely going to have to repair the MSDB database, and that's going to be a fun experience, pretty much rebuilding the whole MSDB database. One option would have been to restore the MSDB database, but I think since I don't have the backups of this, I will just go ahead and rebuild MSDB. Alright, so we're going to go to the box. Oh, it looks like we have literally run out of space here, which means we are gonna have to figure out what is taking up the most space. But before we come back and figure that out, I will proceed and stop the SQL Server service that I need to rebuild the MSDB. So the SQL Server instance that I need the MSDB is this one, apps. So I need to stop that service. So back on the box, it is this one. So let's see what this one is talking about. I need to go to the local services. Or let me just do it from here. I'll do net stop MSSQL. I believe it is MSSQL $apps. Yes, that's it. So that is the service name, and then I'm gonna start it. Where is it? My mouse is. I'm gonna start it with a specific trace flag that will prevent the MSDB database from starting up. So this is gonna be start, and this is what I want to start, this service, and I'm gonna use a trace flag T3608. I'll force that restart, and I want it to be started in SQLCMD mode so that I can run most of my operations in SQLCMD. That's the only connection that's going to be allowed when this is started. So it is now started, and that trace flag 3608 parameter enables or actually prevents the MSDB database from starting up. Now, once that is ready, all I need to do is to actually detach the MSDB from the SQL Server instance. First, I'll go to the folder here, and this is apps. There it is, and here's data, and we have the MSDB files. So we want to detach these ones, and then I'm just gonna move those ones into a different folder. All right, so I will execute SQL CMD. So that's gonna be SQL CMD. The instance is gonna be the period apps, and then the query that I want to pass is gonna be this one. Execute sp detach the database msdb. Right, I need to throw in some quotations there, some better quotations. And now it is detached. So what I can do with this is I can now cut them out of this location, and I'll just, oh man, I've run out of every space here. Let me try to retrieve some of this space. All right, I'm gonna try to investigate why or what is really taking that space. And let me see here, I might already have looked at this before. We have our software called Windows Directory Starts. I'll run this software, and then I will see exactly what's taking up my drives here. So this is what I want to inspect. So there's a lot of troubleshooting that we're doing actually on this call, because we are fixing space. We are eventually going to rebuild the you know what, I will come and look at that rebuild later. The most important part is, I mean, the space later. Hopefully we have enough capacity. No, it's gonna be tricky. Everything is tricky at this point. Let me kill this one, because it's not even doing what it's supposed to do. Let's see if we can actually rebuild this without fixing that space yet. So apps, there we go. I'm trying to find the binaries. So let me come over here. Microsoft SQL Server. This is going to be my apps location, binaries, and I am looking for a specific file. It's not located here. It's gonna be probably here. Yeah, this is the file I'm looking for. So this is what I need to do. So I need to come over here and change my directory to that folder. There we go. And then I'm gonna call that file so that I can rebuild. I can rebuild MSDB. So the first thing is, let me save this off. Excuse me, because soon this is all gonna be a lot of stuff running here. Okay. So it's gonna be SQL CMD. Want to execute it on the instance, which is period apps, and I want to call the file installation of msdb.sql, and I want to log off to a text file. So I'll fire this off. So one thing you need to remember is you're going to call this while you are on the specific folder. I'll pause it and I'll resume it once it is done. And it is done. So after this, I'll stop the instance, or the SQL Server instance. And then I'll start it. It is started, so let's inspect it. And now if we look at it, the database is now showing a normal state. And so that is how you rebuild and repair your MSDB database. Now, if you ever run into an issue where you have to repair or rebuild your MSDB, these are your steps here. You can easily follow them. If you know anybody else who is struggling to do this, you must show them this video. If you have any questions, leave some comments on the chat section. Then I can definitely get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you and have a good day.